it's Annette. I'm here for another video. I'm going to start off with some Christmas cheer. Okay, I'm a big Peanuts fan, so I hope you enjoyed the little Peanuts dance. Because we're going to get into something really serious and yucky. Sorry, but maybe after the first year we'll talk more about this, but we have to talk about it now. I wasn't going to talk about it now. I was going to talk about this till after the first of the year, and then after going back and spending time with some friends and family over the holidays, I decided I should probably talk about this right now. And that is, what do we do about family gatherings when there is tension with our prodigal child or children? And by what I mean by tension is that there are family members who are involved with the prodigal child, who may be running interference, who may be part of the problem. So what do we do about those situations? So some of this is not going to sound very nice. It's not going to sound very, very nice, but I don't care if it sounds nice to your family members who are interfering, who have caused problems. So I don't care if they're not my priority. You are. So I want you to understand something, and this is true. A child, whether it's an adult or a small child, will never reject a parent without the influence of another person. There's always someone else involved, even adult children. I've worked in a lot of different capacities with children who are victims of abuse, and whether they're adults or small children, one of the things they grapple with is, but I still love my parents. I still want to see them. I still want a relationship with them. And they have this conflict of, well, how could I feel that when they've hurt me so badly? So even in those cases, children struggle with the rejection of a parent. So if your adult child is rejecting you or involved in estrangement, there are other people involved in this. There are other people. I don't know a single case, and like I said, I've been in groups for over 10 years with women and families who have experienced this. I've been in Bible studies. There are always other people involved in that, and if it's gone on any length of time, someone's adding fuel to the fire. So that is a biblical principle. Proverbs 26:20 says, where no wood is, there the fire goeth out. So where there is no talebearer, the strife ceaseth. So if you build a fire, you have to stoke the fire, fan the flames, add more wood to keep it going. Fires do not run without fuel and stoking. They just don't. And neither does strife. It doesn't. Someone's stoking it. I don't care if it's been 5 years. I don't care if it's been 1 year. I don't care if it's been 15 years. Someone's stoking the fire. And you may know who that is. You may suspect who it is, and not know what to do about it. So I'm going to help you with that. What I want you to understand is that you have to normalize ending relationships with people who support other people who are hurting you. You need to normalize ending relationships with them. And I'm a Christian, so honoring your parents as an adult, that is a different thing. If grandma and grandpa are involved in the estrangement, we're going to talk about that after the first of the year. That's a biggie. That's a big problem, because you're commanded to honor them. And we have to talk about what that looks like. But sisters, other siblings, aunts, uncles, people like that who are involved in the estrangement, you need to separate yourself from them. And I don't hesitate one tiny bit in saying that to you. The light changes. It's because my dog is looking out the library window because she hears something, so she might bark. So I without hesitation, you need to do that. I have done that. I have zero tolerance for people interfering in my relationship with my children. And it's funny because we always talk about, there's this, women are always, mothers are always compared to mama bears. And if you mess with a mama bear, a cub, the mama bear is going to, end your life. And here comes the mama bear. You're always on the lookout for mama bear. But in estrangement, all of a sudden we don't get to be a mama bear anymore. What about the mama bear? In estrangement, people don't have that same fear of trying to get between you and your children. And I read a study one time, and it had to do with, I'm going to try to find it, it had to do with estrangement in certain situations and how often an aunt is involved in that. That has been the case in my situation. It was the case with my mom's sister. It's the case with my sister, and they are involved in the estrangement. And so what is your biblical responsibility to them? You don't have any outside of loving and praying for them. You don't have to honor them. You can respect them as a person. You don't want to do anything to hurt them. But I will never have a relationship with anyone I might forgive them if they come to repentance or they're sorry someday, but I will never have a relationship with anyone who damaged and destroyed my relationship with my children, ever. It's never going to happen. And that's the mama bear in me. And it's okay if you're like that. That can be the mama bear in you, because apparently it's okay to be a mama bear, except for sometimes when it's not okay to be a mama bear. I mean, it's totally ridiculous. So if there are people in your family that are going to be around for the holidays and they're involved in the estrangement, I want to encourage you to stay away. And if someone asks you why, I mean, here's the thing. They might ask you why, but they know why. People know why. People know what's going on. People are doing this. So I have no tolerance for it. And, like I said, this is going to sound really harsh, but I have set clear boundaries with people involved in the estrangement and what I'm willing to tolerate being involved with them at all. I mean, I'm just not. And so I want to encourage you, because that's going to take a lot of strength. You're going to have to be willing to cut those relationships off. And again, those are not safe people for you. They are not. If they're involved in the estrangement with your child, those are not safe people for you. They have hurt your child. They're destroying your child. They're helping to destroy your child, your grandchildren. And for whatever reason, there are so many different reasons that people sabotage relationships, that people try to destroy children and their parents. It's epidemic right now. And I really feel bad when I hear it's grandma's doing it. Grandmother's involved in this. That's horrible. It's horrible. My mom is a Mexican mom, and if she were alive today, I would probably not be estranged from my children, because she would have just, I don't know what she would have done to people who attempted to hurt my children by estranging them from me. And, everybody said, well, you estrange your children. No, what I said to you earlier, children will never reject a parent without another party being involved. And the Bible, someone's adding fuel to it. Let's say you did something terrible and they went a year without contacting you and you apologized or whatever. They will get over that unless someone's adding fuel to the fire. And this can go on for decades. And everybody's like, well, your siblings, your bro is always going to be your bro. Your sis is always, let me tell you what, you read the Bible, there have been big problems between siblings since Cain and Abel. I mean, you read all through the Bible and there are big problems in families. So family dynamics are really difficult. And when it comes to the holidays, I really want to encourage you to set some big time boundaries with who you're going to be involved in, who you're going to share your plans with, things like that. And of course it involves family, because that's who gets together around the holidays. If you don't want to go to something, If you know someone is involved in the estrangement and you don't want to go, you just say no. You don't have to say, you don't have to argue, you don't have to say no, I don't want to go because I know you're involved. They know they're involved in it. They know they've been talking. They know they're doing things to hurt you and your kids. They're trying to get to you, so they know all this. So you don't even have to discuss it with them. You just say no. And I guarantee you, if 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 everyone, if they're involved in it and other families are talking to them, other members of your family are talking to them, they know what's going on too. So you don't have to explain yourself. Just don't go. And in fact, I would encourage you not to explain yourself. You don't have to explain yourself. They already know. So the other book I want to recommend, and like I said, I didn't really want you to get these heavy duty books before the new year, but this is another one. Listen, it's boundaries, and it's when to say yes and when to say no and take control of your life. You need to take control of your life with these people. And I'm not saying it's going to lead to a restoration of relationship with your kid or anything. That's not what I'm saying. This is about you taking control of your life, saying no when you need to say no and saying yes. Listen, you're in a weak position emotionally and physically. You have that, what I call terminal heartbreak. You're in bad shape. I know it. There's no way a mother who's lost her children to estrangement is not in bad shape. So you've got to get some control over your life, and you have to learn to say no when it involves these people who are doing these, involved in these things, and they're in your family. So I support you not going. Again, that's a hard thing to think about. Well, I've always gone. This is what I've always done. Well, unfortunately, the devil has a foothold in your family. And when that happens, people are hurt and damaged. There's collateral damage, and you might be the only one left out. You might be the black sheep. I'm a black sheep in my family. It's funny, so is my cousin and her immediate family, and I'm friends with people who are black sheep, and that's okay. It's okay to be a black sheep. Totally okay. Usually the black sheep is the one who does this. They establish boundaries, and they say, you're not going to treat me that way. I'm not going to be treated that way. And you're not responsible. People are like, well, you're responsible for losing the relationship. And they think, no, I'm responsible for not playing the game. So I'm not playing the game. And I don't want you to play the game. And the holidays, you're going to be more upset, more vulnerable. If you go to an event, a holiday celebration, and a person is there who is involved in the estrangement, it's not going to be good. You might say things you don't mean. It's just going to ruin the whole thing for you. So I want you to stay away. I want you to stay away from that. And I'm not talking about someone who is trying to. A lot of well-meaning people will try to act as an intermediary between you and your child. And they might be well-meaning, but it's not a good idea. Your child is an adult. My kids are 34 and 37. They're grown men. There will be no intermediary between us. So it's kind of an avoidance triangulation kind of thing, and no one needs to be in the middle of that. No one needs to be in the middle. I'm a firm believer people have to talk and work things out amongst themselves. And if there's counseling, things like counseling, then you have to, counseling is supposed to heal stuff. It's not supposed to cause more problems. So if there are more problems after counseling, then there's something wrong with that situation too. So I want to read you this quote before I stop. And I know this sounds like a rant and it sounds mean, but I am passionate about you protecting your peace during the holidays. How can I blame the wind for the mess it made if it was me who opened the window? Do not open the window to more messes. Do not open the window to people who do not have your best interest at heart and mind. Do not open the window to people who've tried to come between Mama Bear and her cub. You have my full support in avoiding those situations. Highly recommend it. You will be better off for it. Trust me. I think you'll be fine. So Okay, that's the end of my rant. I know it's a pretty serious rant, but I'm serious about this. All right, have a good night. It might work. It's not working. It worked once. It worked on my last video. All right, let me turn it off here.